Taurus, how are y'all doing today? I hope that you're doing amazing. Welcome to your reading. So this is a general reading for Taurus or wherever you got Taurus in your chart. And as I always do, I'm going to encourage you to look at videos that pertains to your astrological chart. Stop looking at other people's charts. Do yourself that. If there's one thing that you do, if it's the only thing you do from this reading, look at your charts, look at your placements. Don't look at other people's stuff. Okay? You get your balance going, you keep your balance going, everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. It's when your balance is off that things start to float in different directions. So, sometimes in life we try to hold on to things, we try to hold on to people, situations, what we may have been sort of seeing as a port of safety, a port of love, that sort of vibe. But sometimes that is exactly what we needed when we needed it because we were growing. But then, at times we become almost dependent, more so than we need to be dependent on other people. And it doesn't mean that either party is right or wrong. It just really means that sometimes you need to be able to see that you can do things on your own, without the support of others. So maybe that's a message for someone. I'm not sure, but there it is. You take it as it resonates. Obviously, these messages are general, so take what resonates for you. I always like to see in the comments what it is that might have resonated for you. If you're obviously only, if you're okay with doing that sort of thing. Nobody's forcing you to do nothing. We're going to take a look at your the energies from the past in your current space, potential outcome, clarify and end up for the oracle message. If you stay with this reading from beginning to end, I'd really appreciate it because it definitely helps me out on the YouTube algorithm, my beautiful Taurus. I like that card. I haven't drawn that card in a very long time. I haven't actually used this deck in a reading. It's the Wild Unknown Tarot. Came into my life in a very magical way. I'm not going to go into it now. I'll go into it in maybe some future video, I'm sure. But I love this deck of cards, and I love this card, especially this butterfly. This almost makes me think of Phoenix rising from the ashes. It's what I always think when I think of this card. And I actually really like this whole deck, but some images are really just magical, like this one, for example, the Six of Cups, which has been coming up for a lot of people actually in this week's readings, which is very, very interesting. With Mother of Swords there, Queen of Swords, it's about you've got some well thought through things here. And I feel energetically you planted some really firm roots and you started to rise above the limitations in your life. Now, there's something that comes out very strongly over here, Taurus, that I need to explain to you, is that for some of you, I do see that experience of someone leaving your life and, maybe not in the most ceremonious sort of way, whatever happened here, shit kind of went shit south very quickly, that sort of thing, whatever happened. But it's almost like you needed to feel the intensity of a presence and then also the intensity of the absence of that presence. So it wasn't meant to happen gradually, because gradual shifting, you may have sort of misinterpreted that a little bit, possibly, Taurus. It's like, so let me explain to you like this. Whatever happened, the purpose, sorry, I just paused there. I needed to sneeze. That's quite it's two hectic sneezes. So, the purpose of that event was to show you the difference between the two. So it wasn't meant to be a gentle sort of water flowing over round rocks sort of vibe. It's not that Zen type of vibe. The lesson needed to be powerfully gotten. And so I feel that both parties somehow contributed towards the result very quickly. It's a soul contracts that we make with each other sometimes, You get in this point, I want to help you with that, and then we're like souls. Like imagine as a soul family incarnating, or like a group. So a lot of times what I find, because what I make part of my reading sometimes if clients want, I'll say I channel this collective consciousness called Smile, and let's maybe see what happens in your energy, you know. And I find that smile, I've always been quite nervous of just mediumship, but I find that smile, they connect more sort of like with your soul path and with your soul plan and your reason for coming here. And very interesting stuff, for example, the effect it has on the way you experience life. I want to say your quality of life, but not implying that one is sort of like superior to the other. But I get for some of you, the reason why I'm mentioning this, because it's coming up very strongly for some of you, is you are at this point of rerouting, where you are getting rerouted to, you know, what is really serving you best. So there's a soul that came in and there's a decision that was made. This is what's going to happen, to make you aware of this and to make you aware of that. Because I feel that for some of you, you were holding on. And the reason why you were holding on is because you may not have understood the immense amount of power you are having right now and the immense amount of potential that you are having right now. And as I said that word power, I saw the time there go on 555, which is all about new beginnings. 5 is the number of new beginnings in numerology. You know, so sorry, so as I was saying, like the time that the soul basically comes into the body itself, because the body is an avatar. You know, it's a very, I mean, it's quite an amazing avatar when you really think about it. And so often we look for problems with our bodies, but you chose this vessel for a reason, you know. And sometimes we want to be open and curious to that reason, because I see for many of you there's also these quick changes, falling apart, not sure what to do, confused, hurt, broken, overcoming. It's like almost like watching the sun and moon rise at the same time, like simultaneously, you know. And then let go of the pain. Released it. There was something that you carried inside of you that I feel that this situation has made you aware of. And it's the release of that something, whatever it is, or at least the initiating process of it. It is that release of that is putting you on that next level, you know, of success. Because that's basically where you are heading. But so sometimes, you know, what you want to look at is when there's an event that's taking place, and it's very upsetting for you. Instead of looking at it as just an isolated event, look at it as a piece of the puzzle, you know. And if you take like a puzzle that is, say, maybe very brilliant and very beautiful, lots of details, but maybe one block is just like brown or black or white, like, you know, it's like nothing significant. But without that one piece, even though it may seem so insignificant to the rest of the puzzle, without that one, you know, significant puzzle piece, the puzzle wouldn't be complete, and that would be, you know, worse, you know. So try to look at an event like that. Potential going forward, the Lover's energy, which usually called choice energy, 4 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. So I mean, there it is, right there. There's literally for you. You know, it's about having choices going forward. It's about, for those of you, there's a searching here, and it's like an answering of the call, you know, answering of prayer. There's a sense here of going forward here, my beautiful Taurus, where, you know, whatever it is that you're wishing for and hoping for and dreaming about, you know, it's coming about for you. And so that's really great, because I feel that you really manifested from a point of love. There is a bit of a warning, though, that you want to be careful of not falling back into your previous pattern. So find a way to keep yourself on the straight and narrow. Okay. Let's clarify that recent past influence over there. So you see you were set free here, but I feel that in some ways for some of you, you could feel that you were set free from a person, but it's really that the situation has, you know, the contributing factor that whoever, you know, had towards us, you're going to let me know in the comments, but that helped you to free you from something that was actually keeping you bondage within yourself. And if you look at it like that, you get to actually see how you souls basically, you know, orchestrated this event together for the highest good of all, really, you know. Sometimes things are not as bad as they seem, literally. Isn't that cool? All right, so you got the star energy there, so Aquarius energy, you got the 6 of Swords, and you got the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you are capable of so much more. You are capable of so much more than you were basically giving yourself credit for. I feel that somehow there's quite a bit of time, okay, I'm going to rephrase that, because it's also still happening. So a lot of time is being wasted now. Whatever started here in the beginning, maybe it was the thing that, you know, we have to do it together, and that's the vibe, and that's the appeal. But I feel that a lot of what's happening is trying to make you aware that it is time to separate things. Everything doesn't have to be done together, you know. It's like if you're a married couple, you don't need to go and take a poop together. You just don't have to. I mean, if it's your thing, it's your thing, but, you know, it's not necessary. We don't have to have matching toothbrushes, that sort of thing, you know. And I feel that for many of you, you got out of that because I feel that whatever it is that's happening over here, I'm not sure if it's love. Maybe love is just, it's almost like love is a contributing factor, but it's kind of like on the sideline here. Maybe it's got something to do with your career, possibly. But it's like there's daggers that are coming from out of you. It's like you feel lighter, you know. There's a sense of using your potential better, your talent better to make more money. I very clearly hear stop comparing yourself to others. And I hear that very clearly and very specifically. Stop comparing yourself to others. And it does sound like a feminine sort of voice. Grandmotherly, even though not necessarily a grandmother, maybe just an older person, I'm not sure. But it's almost like this person is making you aware of the fact that you are withholding the money from yourself, that you are the reason why you are having troubles and concerns, and it's almost like it's a confirmation that you need it. I don't know if you got it the way that you would have liked to get it, but it's like the confirmation that you need it. All right, let's see what's happening in your current space. You see, you're still a little bit confused. Still a little bit confused here. There were the Two of Swords and the Queen of Staves, which is the Queen of Wands, and the Temperance energy, that Sagittarius energy. It's very difficult, I think, for you specifically, Taurus, to have such a strong Sagittarius contributing energy in your collective energy at the moment, because you know, where you might like to contemplate things sometimes, at least overnight or like a day or two. Sagittarius will say, you know what, screw this, I've had enough, let's just do this, and, you know, the chips, let them fall where they may, that type of vibe, which might be overwhelming for you. But I feel the main reason that where the overwhelm is actually coming from, Taurus, that you may not be aware of, the main source where your overwhelm is coming from is actually awakening emotions. It's like your DNA is waking up. So you're realizing, you're like experiencing emotional, almost like emotional possibilities, because it's almost like your pain isn't real. It feels real, but it's almost like it's not real, like it's make-believe. And it's sort of like just the unlocking. Take very good care of your avatar, my beautiful Taurus. Make sure specifically you get enough water, that you spend time in water. Water can really, really help you to make that change, because remember, water is a highly changeable structure. Normal water, ice particles, steam, visible, invisible, clouds, rain, you know. So water, it's a very strong magical component to work with, especially for you, because your energy is earth. Okay, so maybe like a water fountain. For those of you that have been following me, you would know that I've got a water fountain. I've got my beautiful fish tank. I like to work with water. Even some of the crystals that I have, and these were sort of like gifts actually. For example, this one, magic melanite, which is really obsidian, which is that hot lava that's spewed out of a volcano, hits the air, immediately solidifies, and you only get that one in Madagascar. It's really amazing for magical work. Sorry. And I feel just that you are ready for that magical work. You will actually do quite well with a crystal like that. You'll do quite well with a crystal like this as well, blue sodalite. In actual fact, that might be better for you, because it helps connecting you to other realms, but it can also be very overwhelming. Yellow calcite is quite a great option, and then of course we've got our clear quartz over here. But out of all, I would recommend magic melanite for you. Okay, let's see, what is your potential going forward, beautiful Taurus? And I keep on, you know, like there's such a Sagittarius energy in your reading. I keep on wanting to call you Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a very old soul energy though, that somehow they just know whatever happens they're going to be okay. Two of Cups, so coming together, we're speaking about it again. Six of Pentacles, the magical number in Tarot, the Queen of Cups. It might feel to you that things are falling apart, but things are actually shifting into place here for you. Things are actually shifting into place for you. The universe is literally waiting on you. Things are still happening, but they can happen faster. But I feel there's resistance on your end, and it comes from fear. So you might want to be open to releasing that. Okay? Let's see, what do we have in Oracle messages for you, Taurus? And if this resonates with you, I'd really appreciate you liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. To those of you that are open to learning to read the tarot, you can check the links down below in the description for my courses. First couple of lessons are free. There's also a free Oracle card reading course. Great and full. The universe is saying to you that you have always been more than enough. You are more than enough. You've always been more than enough. You're part of everything. Everything is part of you. It's all just an illusion down here. Okay? Don't get too trapped up on it. Don't get too carried away by it. It's all just an illusion. And a lot of it is sometimes just here meant to entertain the soul on his journey through this multiverse. Okay. I hope that helps. That's what I got for you, beautiful Taurus. I will see you next time. Wishing you all the best. Sending you lots of love.